Hello and welcome to another episode of the Not For Nothing podcast. I wanted to talk about this like ancient tradition in New York.
Ancient tradition.
It is ancient. As long as New York has been a Dutch settlement, like truly, I feel like this
New Amsterdam.
Yeah, this practice has been going on for century upon centuries. The other day, we were waiting for a friend at a restaurant, and he was like, I'm 15 minutes away. And we were like, oh shit, that sucks. We were like, we were starving.
Yeah.
Starving. And we were like, because by the time he gets here, now he's going to have to look for parking and it's going to take forever.
That's annoying.
Then a spot just opened up right in front of the restaurant. So we were like, can we stand in this?
And we could.
And we did. And Natasha was a little scared.
Yeah.
She was a little scared.
I was a little stressed out.
She's like, I don't know, can we stand in it? Is that like, I'm like.
No, it was less the standing. It was more, I didn't trust my interpretation of what the sign said. I was like, is this a parking? It felt so.
It was too convenient.
I was like, in my life, I have never found a parking spot in front of the establishment I am eating at. My whole life in New York.
Hard to believe, but also hard to pass up.
Exactly. And I was like, but there's nothing that says we can't do now. Right. And so we were like going, and I also don't think that I was wearing my glasses. And we were going back and forth, debating this, stressing ourselves out. We were like, we're going to wait here.
I'm standing in it because like, what's someone going to do to me?
And then we're like, but what if he comes and it's not a parking spot? And then
I want to know if everybody in our audience does that. Like, if they stand in spots.
Do you know that there's like a thing in Chicago?
No.
Okay. Our friend Sophia.
The Sophia.
Sophia. Yeah.
Okay.
She taught me about this like thing in Chicago where people will leave like chairs and garbage cans like in the spots to
like
save the spots.
Inconveniently. Yeah.
Yeah. To like reserve the spots. But in a place of like New York, let's say, somebody would just toss that.
Run over it, get out, throw it onto the sidewalk, like anything.
I say that as somebody who has seen a cone and moved it in New York.
Oh, me too.
Like, this does not belong to you. Like,
you know, one time in LA, Neymar, he took, there were signs on the whole block saying that the street was closed
for like a special.
This was for the Olympics.
I was gonna say, I feel like I was with this.
He took the signs off the entire block. Like, they were pasted everywhere.
He's like, no special event.
He's like, no, you forgot to paste this block. I thought it was parking.
And that's how you get away with a ticket.
It is.
You say that it wasn't clear enough because then it's on them.
Right. So gaslighting 101.
Gaslighting 101.
But yeah,
I've definitely gaslit the LA like ticket department numerous times.
Good.
And I've won a few.
And you've lost a few. Because remember the time they gave you a ticket for...
many things, but
like not having your tires straight?
No, the opposite. In LA, in some of the like hilly areas, you need to face your tires a certain direction so that if there's an earthquake, the car won't like move into oncoming traffic.
Okay, that makes sense to me now.
It makes sense to me like why that exists. At the time where I was parking, I got confused which direction my tires were supposed to be. And so I put them in the opposite one.
They need like a compass.
But there was also a diagram. Oh. Like I was looking at it and I was like, yeah, that's what I'm doing. But it wasn't the opposite. And so I got a ticket and that one it was hard to explain. I did push the like, I'm from New York, I've never done this. But it didn't work.
They said ignorance is not an excuse.
Yeah, well, that was my bad. And honestly, a public safety hazard.
Yeah.
But the other times I won, like in front of my house, apparently it was a loading zone, but the paint was so faded and it was at night. I like genuinely didn't know. And then I looked up the reason for the ticket and I was like, this is the parking spot in front of my house. Like, what?
Right.
And so I emailed them. I was like, I live here. I have never seen this paint on this area, and like it was late at night, like I didn't know this was a loading zone, and I got it like dismissed. And then like 2 weeks later the city was there painting, and now it was like by the time I left it was like in bright white, like loading zone
also,
only.
Like, what are they loading? There's no stores.
Well, so it's like
it would be gas.
And that's what my excuse was also, not excuse, but explanation. I was like, I understand that this might be a loading zone. I parked from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m.
Right. There was no loading in those hours.
Like, I these were not business hours. I arrived late from the office. I went early to the office. It was like a weird, and that's
high
why
stress week.
I usually never park. Like I park sometimes outside, but never at that random spot.
Yeah.
So it like must have been like an unload. I was literally unloading goods. So I got that one back. So
it was your business hours.
Always gaslight the ticket company.
Yeah, I mean they do nothing but gaslight, and then they try to catch you red-handed too with cameras. I'm
exactly.
over it.
But also, if you're from Chicago, let us know if you also know about this tradition. It's apparently like, and so you have to honor it. Like people will not move the shit.
Pussy.
Like it'll like, but it's because it's like tradition.
Right. You gotta respect the local tradition.
Exactly. And you have to respect the local like long-term residents.
And then you gotta respect a local enemy, which could be the police officer
exactly.
or the person taking your spot. Yeah.
So it's an interesting tradition, and I do believe that having friends hold spots for you is okay.
Yeah, it's like it's the right thing to do. And
obviously, if this car starts oncoming to you and not listening to you, please move aside at that point.
I don't know if I would.
Honestly, yeah, just get hit. You get money.
I'd be like, I'm holding a spot, and what are you going to do about it? You're going to hit me with your car. You're going to catch a charge because I'm holding a parking spot?
Challenge
I don't think
accepted.
So. I don't think you are, buddy.
But
Bucko.
also, knees are expensive.
And sometimes they're replaceable.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
So, it's not ideal. Really use your best judgment on that one. No recommendations given on our part, to be clear.
None.
Okay, so recently on TikTok, there's been this trend of like that Muppet character.
Oh, with the orange hair.
Yeah, and the slideshow of all people being like sharing very embarrassing stories.
Yeah.
There have been some of the most horrendous and embarrassing stories I've ever read in my life.
Oh, it's been bad.
First of all, I'm questioning the validity of some at this point. Also, some of them I'm like, these are stories that you should have taken to the grave because like you could potentially be charged with stuff.
Right. It feels almost like so anonymous that you're like.
But it's not anonymous because it's people's personal profiles that are posting.
Oh yeah,
and
definitely.
I'm like, oh, okay.
But it's like a universal we listen and we don't judge moment.
Yeah, I just don't know if law enforcement knows about that trend.
They don't?
Hey, we listen and we don't judge.
It's like, hey, I think you're being a little mean. This was meant to be listened to and not judged.
But there was this one story of this girl, I think I sent it to you, where she sat in feces on the subway.
Oh, yes.
And it like scarred me. Like it was fucking disgusting. But then after that one, I started seeing so many more stories, feces related.
Oh boy.
Especially subway related. And then I realized like so many people have shit their pants. And it happens. It's really made me feel better about myself because I had an accident last year when I like had a little IBS flare-up situation. And it was on like December 31st.
Wow, you remember.
And I was like, wow, this is how the year is ending for me. Like this is what my life is up to right now. Like, I'm shitting my pants. I'm almost 30. Like it really made me like spiral a little bit.
You were having a shitty year.
Yeah, and the shitting my pants was really like the drop that made the thingy.
The straw that broke
the camel's back. But then I realized so many people are shitting their pants.
Bro, have you seen what's in our food? It's like we eat nothing but chemicals.
Yeah.
And we're like, wow, sometimes I shit my pants. And it's like, yeah, like the human body wasn't meant to consume this.
So it made me
your body is doing what it's supposed to do, like evolutionarily. It's like ejecting it out of you so you're not poisoned.
And there's always, there's people who are like upstairs versus downstairs. Like there's always like.
What do you mean upstairs?
Like, some people are more likely to react with vomiting.
Oh, yeah.
And
Got
some people,
Sorry.
Like,
sorry you had to elaborate
yeah,
like that.
Like, there's some people it's both, but, like, a lot of people have you don't get to choose. Your body has a preference.
Oh, yeah, I know.
To be clear.
Clear to me, definitely.
And so I feel like, yeah, I've really... I feel seen by this trend.
Yeah, I'm so glad. You were just talking about taking things to the grave, and then you're like, I shit my pants 2 years ago on the date.
But it's also, that's not like a bad, some of them I'm like, did you see the one where the guy so his parents are divorced, and he doesn't want to go to his dad's house because his dad doesn't have cable TV.
Understood.
And so he hides in his neighbor's trunk.
No way.
But the neighbor takes a like drive to like 8 hours somewhere else, and is so hungry, and the only thing he can find in the trunk is Pepto-Bismol. So he chugs that, but it starts like giving him really bad farts, and then he starts like farting and like low-key shitting his pants, and the smell is so bad. No, dude, this gets so bad. The smell is so bad. The woman swerves.
No, she did
She
not.
ends up dying from the car accident.
That can't be a real story.
But then the craziest part is when the police comes, right?
I've never thought about swerving your car because you smelled something bad.
Apparently, because it had been like hours of him farting in this car and like shitting in the
Yeah,
back
but
seat.
like, so I get it. It smelled really bad, but that's not a reason to just swerve your car.
Very weird. That's why I'm like questioning the validity of some of these stories. But then when they find him, they're like, wait, you've been reported missing. And so he like just goes with this story that like she abducted him and he like saved himself. But I'm like,
so wait, can you remind me again why he went to the trunk?
because he didn't want to go to his dad's house. Because his dad didn't have cable.
I was like, wait, I forgot for a minute. I'm like, he went in her trunk to get Wi-Fi.
No, like his dad was about to come pick him up for the like swap.
Right.
And he was like, I don't want to go.
Oh my fucking God.
But that's one of those things where I'm like,
You're like, so the smell of this shit
so
killed
you
a
like
woman.
involuntarily manslaughtered a woman.
Yeah, but it's like,
But like
it's her fault if she's swerving because it smells like
100%.
shit.
But that's also one of those things like
Try going to Egypt once ever. That's like natural selection at that point. If you
Yeah.
can't smell someone else's shit without getting into a car accident, that's on you.
but also maybe don't share that like that's like somebody's life.
It can't be real.
It can't be real.
It can't be
A lot
real.
of the comments said it wasn't real, but that one made me like kind of weird. I was like,
Unless it's like an OJ Simpson situation where enough time has passed and he's
there's
like,
no, yeah.
he's like, if I did it, I shit my pants and it made her swerve.
But did you see the olive oil girl one?
No.
Oh my God, the olive oil story is so fucking.
What happened?
So that's the original one.
Okay.
That's
I
like-
thought the Subway poop one was.
No, that was like an excellent follow up.
Great.
Because that week was excellent. Now it's becoming more like, okay, we all have embarrassing stories.
All right.
Okay, so the olive oil girl, she sees in school that like, you know, there's this trend of like doing olive oil hair masks,
Oh God.
right? Because that was like a thing that we used to do.
Greasy. Got it.
Because that's why I love this trend. It's all millennials
Mm-hmm.
from like our teenage years doing very embarrassing shit that's relatable.
Mm-hmm.
So she does this olive oil hair trend. I've done it too. And she like puts the saran wrap, but everything is like oily.
Mm-hmm.
And so as she does that, she slips
Oh no.
and like,
In school.
no, this is at her house late
Okay.
at night. So apparently she slips and then somehow like knocks herself out or some shit and then gets back up and slips again. But now somehow like touches something on the alarm. So it like wakes up the whole family and her dad has to come like disable the
Does
alarm.
he slip?
Yes. And it's like 3 a.m. And so he's super pissed. Then she goes to bed. And then she notices people and there's like people robbing her house, but the alarm has been turned off by her dad, so she has to go wake him
No
up
way.
again.
No way. No way.
And
There's
then it
people
turns
robbing her
out
house.
it's not robbers. It's like police officers because there was like a water main break nearby that they were investigating. And so she wakes up her dad again. Now he's furious. And then she needs to wash the mask out. But
I don't know how furious I'd be if my daughter came in and was like, someone's robbing our house.
But then
I
it's
don't
not.
I don't think I'd be mad at that though.
But then is not. And the reason the alarm was off in the first place was because she's doing this hair mask thing.
I thought that the police came because the alarm had gone off.
No.
Okay.
And then she needs to wash the thing out, but the water main break, she can't wash it out, so she has to go to school with the olive oil hair.
I would have washed my hair in the bathroom, I swear to God.
And so like, and then she did a human enactment of the story.
Yeah.
On TikTok. It was really funny. But that was like the first one, because like every slide was like, oh my God.
No
Oh
way
my
it
God.
got worse.
Because
Yeah.
then there was like, then she knocked herself out. Then they're like, she nuts, absolutely nuts. But then the shit yourself one was crazy. But it really helps you put into perspective, like,
We're all human, bro.
We're all human, and like, wow, at least that wasn't me.
Yeah.
It could always get worse.
It could. What are you leaving behind this year and bring into... What are you looking forward to this year? And what are you leaving in the past in 2024?
I'm looking forward to Sal's first birthday party. That I think will be the highlight of 2025.
It's going to be a rager, I'm telling you.
I know. I love that a baby's birthday is now a rager for us.
Like, but the thing is, like, everybody's like, why are you spending so much money on a first birthday? And I'm like, this is for us.
Because you're like, I haven't seen my friends in 2 years.
Exactly. I'm like, I've been on hiatus after having him. Yeah, it's like, his fault. So now his first birthday, we're turning into
Mama's
Rager
back
of
on
the
the
year.
town. I love that. And then leaving behind, I don't know. We were talking about this earlier, but like, I really hope this is the year that people stop being fucking assholes, especially like in creative fields and shit like that. Like, bring back being a good person.
Yeah.
And like treating others with fucking respect.
And paying your freelancers.
Honestly, I hope that is what we leave behind. The not paying people is fucking unacceptable. And I feel like we said this on last year's podcast.
I feel like it's something that will be etched into society for eternity. But...
And well, I'll be saying it till the day it happens, but it needs to stop.
Yeah, stop it. You're hurting my feelings. You know what I'm thinking I'm leaving behind? I think I'm leaving behind a will to serve. I'm just kidding. No, but like
Joy.
I'm leaving behind like not taking care of myself.
Agreed.
Like it's like I want to be more put together this year.
Yeah. I want to be healthier.
Yeah, same.
Like we're reaching an age where like the decisions we make now like have more long-term, like, okay, it sounds dramatic, but like I had like a stomach situation flare up a few weeks ago. And then since then I've been like eating much healthier. And I'm like, wow, I feel so much better. Like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Like, why am I eating all this junk? Like, it feels like immature at this point.
It does. It's self-harm.
It's
like,
self-harm.
You're hurting yourself for real.
And that's like a whole other topic where I know that some of my eating behaviors is self-harm.
Right.
Like, whatever. But it like feels good to eat healthy.
It does.
And it's like, if you do it right, like cheap.
100%.
Because fast food has become so expensive. It used to be that it was like, oh well, at least this meal is like cheaper, whatever. But it's not.
It's not. No, it's not.
And I'm not saying I'm eating the healthiest by far, but like having
any just conscious decision about it.
Even frozen veggies is better than fast food, you know.
No issues with frozen veggies, by the way.
Agreed.
And unfairly scrutinized, just like canned meat.
But it's like obviously I'm not having like organic, although I have been buying organic eggs because eggs are so expensive now that the
difference doesn't matter. There's no pay difference.
It used to be that like the store brand whatever was like $2.50 or some shit, and then it's like $4.50 for but now they're all $4.50 or like $6. But so I've been getting the like
no 100%.
Not the super organic, but the
farm raised whatever.
The yolks are much much more orange, and it's nice as they should be. Like
True.
They're not like translucent almost.
Oh my god, yeah, the bright yellow.
Where you're kind of like,
I'm like, what is this? I've actually started to eat egg whites, like from the carton, just because I'm not a part of the process. I don't want to have to separate a yolk. I don't think that's a very exciting thing in the morning.
I have an egg separator.
Do you?
I haven't used it, but it came with a utensil set that I bought.
Okay.
I was like, what is this device? I had to like Google Lens, like where you take
I'd rather separate it myself than wash an appliance.
It's just like a little like spoon that has a like ring hole in the middle.
But it's like still something that you would have to wash. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's dishwasher privilege.
Very true.
Where I'm like, whatever.
I could crack and be like, and then throw it out, you know, but then you're wasting a yolk.
Agreed.
Also, so I can get like my egg whites for like $4 for a huge carton.
I used to
when I was 2 weeks of breakfast.
When I was like very like cholesterol conscious, which I should be, I used to do carton egg whites. Like don't also freeze them.
I have heard that. I mean, so don't get me wrong. Like I'm not even kidding. I was actually just about to ask you this, and this might be bougie, but I've been buying egg cartons 3 at a time in my household.
But you're 3 people.
One is a child under 1.
Yeah, but the other is a male.
Yeah, but he's not like a
Adults.
3-egg person. I think it's just
Yeah.
because I've been putting eggs in so many things. Like if I'm
What-
making chicken cutlets or if I'm
Exactly.
making the banana pancakes or something.
Once you start like making different categories of food,
Yeah.
like baking requires eggs.
Yep.
That's usually like my motivation to buy eggs. It'll be like,
Mhm.
I want to bake something. And then I'm like, oh, then I want my bulldog. And then, oh, let me make like egg salad with the rest.
Do you like keep eggs in your house as a main grocery? Okay, me too.
Yeah.
Like I think I eat eggs every single day.
I used to find myself wasting them sometimes if I bought 12. Like
Really?
I wouldn't go through them fast enough. But now I am.
Uh-huh.
But I should kind of slow down.
I have 2 a day at least.
Yeah. I've been having eggs for breakfast, especially like during finals when I like.
Yeah, switch to egg white carton.
Yeah,
here
I
and
should.
there.
I like that.
Because you could, there's no guilt for you,
Exactly,
cholesterol wise, and it's still like an egg breakfast,
Yeah.
like still savory and stuff.
That's smart. And there's like eggs are so expensive. Like
They-
it used
it
to be
literally-
that buying egg white cartons was like,
You're
oh,
actually spending more buying an egg white carton back then.
It used to be like, why are you doing that? Like you could just get the eggs, blah blah blah. And now
Right.
it's like, why would I get eggs when they're like,
It's cheaper to buy egg whites now.
bro,
No joke.
Eggs are crazy price.
I heard that inflation, that eggs are up like 8 or 80%. I can't remember, something with an 8, but they're up a lot year
Well-
over year.
Speaking about groceries,
My favorite topic.
as we talked off camera earlier, but I don't have a Taco Bell near me. So I haven't had
Sad.
Taco Bell since moving back to the East Coast. Honestly, my body thanks me probably.
Yeah.
But I do miss that, like, my favorite was the, like, hard Dorito nacho tacos. And so I recently bought, like, the hard taco shells that have, like, nacho dust on it. Like, the same equivalent, whatever, just off-brand. And I've been making these, like, ground beef tacos. So good. Ground turkey.
Really?
Yeah, so good. But I just saw on TikTok that you're supposed to heat them up.
What?
I had no idea you were supposed to heat up hard taco shells.
No, me either.
And
And I
apparently-
don't believe it.
Apparently it gives it like a better, like, and it says it on the box. It's just no one's ever read like instructions for hard taco. Like, why would you read the instructions? It's
Right.
self-explanatory.
What do you do? The microwave?
No, like either microwave or oven for a little bit just to like,
Firm it up?
yeah. Because they can get like, you know, a little like,
Damp.
yeah, damp or yeah, like stale in the
Yeah.
bag. And so it like helps freshen them and give them like a fresh crunch.
I never thought
And then
about that.
and then a girl says she just puts them in the pan, like like just to heat
Yeah.
it in the pan. I was like, what the fuck? What have I been missing out on?
I don't know. Have you tried it yet?
I saw it like the day where I ran out of the meat.
Oh, so you haven't tried it yet?
No, so I
Oh,
have
I'm
the
looking
taco
forward to
shells, but I
hearing your-
haven't tried
I can't wait
the
to hear what you
combo.
think. I really can't. I'm not a hard taco girl.
I am sometimes. Like I'll get a craving for it, and I want it
Really?
with like lettuce. Like I want it.
No, the lettuce is such a good crunch. In a Crunchwrap Supreme,
Exactly. Like that's
that's the type of hard taco
because
I want.
a hard taco is like my accessible home version of a Crunchwrap Supreme.
Exactly.
Like
But
that-
you're so right about the lettuce. It's crazy. I just said this last night. I was like, you know what? Appreciating lettuce in your Mexican food is a really adult thing.
Yeah, it's important. It
Because
needs
when
to be
you're
there.
a kid, you're like, whatever,
Ugh.
just give me the rice.
But
And
it now gives such a freshness and good texture.
now it's like I don't want it without.
And I love it in like halal bowl as well.
Oh,
like,
me too.
you
I
need
love
the
the salad there.
lettuce.
Yes.
I just ordered halal guys to my house the other day as a treat.
I wish I had that near me.
It's not that near me. It was truly one of those things where I was like, this seems so dumb to order on Uber Eats, but they say they deliver and
Yep.
it's 20 minutes. It's just like 6 miles.
6 miles is not that bad.
No, it just seems
but
dumb.
it's all of DC.
Yeah, exactly. It's technically in Maryland, the spot I ordered.
Oh, wow.
But it's so when it arrived, I was texting Liz. I was like, "Is this absolutely like frivolous?" Because I knew she would say no, because she will always say that it's a good idea.
Yeah, it is a good idea.
And so I did it, and it was so worth it. And then that's when I sent you guys the photo. I bought when I ordered extra packets of the sauces, so I could make my own just bowls after.
Isn't it like $1?
Yeah, and it was
So worth it.
It was like delicious.
I would literally buy it.
Because then the
extra.
next day I had lettuce and I had tomatoes and I had some of the ground beef and rice, and I was like, I'm gonna make my own bowl.
Yeah.
And then I had the sauce and it just completed the whole thing.
It really does. You can't make your own version of that. You can, but
you
it
can,
won't
but
be
it
the
won't.
same.
It won't be the same.
It just will not hit the same. I'm thinking of buying these like single serve protein powders
Okay.
because like I always thought, and I still kind of do think, I like still need to be proved wrong, that like protein powder is just like not good.
Okay.
But I'm seeing it as like an addition to like Greek yogurt or even blended cottage cheese,
Yeah.
where it can almost make it into like a mousse because of like collagen and stuff in it. And I think that's where I'm interested.
Protein mousse.
Protein mousse, but like healthy.
Okay.
So I'm going to try it out and I'll let you know if it's good.
Texturally, that doesn't speak to me, but I applaud your efforts.
But like, you don't want the mousse or you're just freaked out by the powder?
The mousse.
Okay. I don't like, when it comes to like bakery, I hate mousse.
Yeah. Like what would you...
I hate it.
What would you do with this
Do you know
mousse?
the little mice pastries?
Yeah.
My dad would always buy those for us when we were little. And that's mousse. And I loved the mice, but I hated
the mousse.
The actual dessert.
If it's a chocolate...
Love the mice, hate the mousse. That's crazy. Is that why they make it into mice?
Probably. A mousse makes them...
Makes a mouse.
Wow. Well, we'll learn something every day.
Yeah, that's crazy. What's the difference between FOMO and nostalgia?
Yeah, it's been an interesting topic we've had this week with our friends. As we've discussed, you know, we're entering this different phase of adulthood. Some of us have kids. Some of us are contractually upgrading their relationships.
Yeah.
Defining in legal ways.
Yeah, true.
And it's cool. It like changes stuff, but it sometimes makes you like miss your more frivolous days and like more carefree. And especially now that I'm not on Instagram, it definitely helps the mental health with the FOMO and the nostalgia. But like you see other people doing things and you're like, ugh, I want to be at a random weed party in LA just smoking crazy weed and not giving a shit about anything. But
I really miss that. I do.
I do too. And so when I see some of we were talking about like, ugh, we have FOMO about the XYZ event or whatever. But then it really made me think about like, yes, I miss the actual event, but I also miss being there with my friends.
Like that specific time of our lives is what we miss, like rather than being there now.
Because I definitely did go to those parties without you guys too. And I did not enjoy those experiences. Right. And
me too.
Like, you know, do not attend those types of things anymore. Right. But I miss going with all of us. That was a good time.
That was so fun.
And so that made me think about the different, like, maturing is letting behind FOMO and embracing nostalgia. Like, I don't have a fear of missing out. I've done a lot that I have great memories to look back on.
Same.
I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything.
Me either. And I just feel like I'm not like, I wonder, is it like anxiety? But I'm like, I don't really want to socialize on that level anymore. And I think it might not be anxiety or me not wanting to be around crowds and stuff. I think it's just me not wanting to absorb all of that energy in one place.
I really think it's like a protecting your peace and like realizing what you value.
Right.
And like sometimes it's cool at a certain part of your life when you like haven't met a lot of people and you're like kind of new to like networking and you're just like amazed by everybody you meet and every story is so cool. And then you start realizing like, oh, you start meeting more and more shitty people
and more of the same people where you're like, that story was not that unique.
It was not that unique. Like you are not actually a friend.
Yeah, that's that too. It's like, I don't want to network with people who are like clout chasing, who think they can get something from me. And I don't want anybody to assume that I want something from them.
I also think I'm at a phase where I can't really provide anything for anybody. So that also makes me like, I don't want to network. Yeah. Because like, I don't like have anything to offer that is, and I've met so many people who have nothing to offer and it's like useless networking. Yeah. And I'm just like, I would hate to, especially like when younger people like reach out to me about pussy weed stuff. Yeah. I'm like, I'm down to like consult on stuff for you, but like, I don't think like a collab is like what you don't know that yet. Like, right. But I'll help you like meet other people. But I don't want to be like a dead weight to you.
So true.
But that also could be like a different internal like self-esteem thing.
That's what I was going to say also. It's like, I think you do have something to offer.
But not what like, I feel like we have the knowledge
in the traditional
now.
sense. I feel like you're taking a step back from while building something else, and I understand you don't want to like take up space where somebody could be like actually talking to somebody who is working on something.
And like that'll be like a lot of people who reach out to me about like, I'm like, you should talk to Sarah. Like,
yeah, but it's like,
you know much more about like brands right now than I have any clue about who's doing what in this space.
It's a double-edged sword. It's like, and right now I feel like my actual strength is not in the consumer part of things, because I do know things that are going on, and I am like tapped in.
You are very tapped
to an extent, but not to like, first of all, in New York, like I fell back as soon as things started to take off here, because I started to see everybody's true colors come out.
The legal market like really never really interested me. I think legalization is so important for New York. Do I care to be part of an industry? No. Like
I just feel like everybody, like, it's mostly foreigners, that like, meaning people who are foreign to the industry.
Yeah, it's like just now a cash grab, which there's no cash to grab, which
everybody will learn, which we have already learned.
Exactly, and that's just what makes me sad too, where I'm like, we're talking about like, no, like what are we even talking about? Yeah,
so it's complicated. It's very complicated,
and that's where the nostalgia comes in, where it's like, your event seems so great.
Yeah.
I unfortunately don't have a fear of missing out, because
it's like, we just yearn for a time where
we had hope.
And there was like truly for the cannabis industry. And there was also harmony between going out and partying and getting something out of it work-wise, getting something out of it social life-wise, getting something out of it love interest-wise. Like there was something to be had.
And I feel like we're definitely at a downturn of like optimism, and people there, and we've gone through this before. Like this is not the first time the cannabis industry has gone through this, and it will be resilient, but like people are very pessimistic, and the opportunities that are presenting themselves, you always need to question why a job is available, or like why a brand suddenly has money for a certain project.
Where's that money coming from?
That money coming from? Why did the person leave that job? And it's just like the same shitty tricks.
It's just nonstop. Yeah.
And that's why I feel like I'm really like, it's good to take a step back. It's good to focus on policy. And it's good to think about like, what is the future, not just in 5 years, but in 10 years and in 20 years. Because right now everyone's so short-sighted because there's no money to be made.
Yep.
And it's tough. Like, so many people have had to like reposition stuff. And it's really sad to see like some of your favorite brands that you thought were like untouchable.
Right. But, with that said, the only way to be nostalgic for the future is to live a life today that you're enjoying. Because when you look back, you'll remember how you were feeling during that time from any like footage, like videos and photos and stuff. Like, I'll remember when I hung out with my friends last, no matter what event we're at.
Agreed.
So like I'm making environmental decisions now.
Yeah.
Like for the environment around me and the space I'm in, to help me feel comfortable in my bubble of friends, to do something that we're enjoying, whether we're like enjoying a meal together or like smoking a blunt or at an event or something. I'm making sure that every time I step out and I meet up with people I want to see, that like my future self is going to thank me because I'm happy today.
I love that. And I think that's how we're feeling right now. This is a fun time capsule that we'll be able to look back on and how we were feeling in the beginning of 2025.
Yep.
And I hope you guys are feeling the same way. And we really appreciate all of you.
We do.
Like this journey, we never forget that it started because you guys told us to do it and supported us. So we're really grateful for that. And I'm really, as much as I'm pessimistic, I'm very excited for the future, and I can't wait to see where the cannabis industry goes.
Me too, and not for nothing.
Yeah. We're here.
Yeah, and let's see where the podcast goes.
Exactly.
So
on that emo note, it was lovely as always.
Keep supporting.
Thanks for tuning in.
Happy 2025.
And we'll see you next week.
See you next Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye.